Okay, Elizabeth, it's time to start the process. Let's start getting you torn down. So we're gonna take your dial and hands off, give them a good look. All right. I put this crown and stem set up on here just so I could adjust the time. We will figure out what to do about your stem. It's unfortunately broken, so we'll get there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and remove your dial. Have a look and see what we've got here. Okay, so we have 1.8, and your case back was a 1.7, which is very nice. I believe that's correct. Let me grab it here. It's in the cleaner, getting cleaned. No, I'm sorry, it's a 1.3, so that must be a 3, not an 8. Not mistaken. Let's take a look here. Let's take a slightly closer look at your dial. Let's make sure. So here's your case back, and here's your dial. Yes, that is a 1. I can't make it out. So, regardless, it is from the same era. Perhaps slightly later. Could be a replacement dial, but I don't think so. All right. No matter. It doesn't affect much at all. All right, so now we can go ahead and tear down your movement to bits. I love these 6106 movements. They're actually a really nice movement. The sad thing is that they're found in a lot of watches that are not highly valued, and so people don't necessarily restore them very often. But they're really good. They're just as good. In fact, they have a higher number of complications than 6105 divers. And they've got day and date, which is cool. Your balance looks good. I wonder if this watch was in for a broken stem and found its way into a drawer and not repaired. Perhaps. It could be the case. Let's go ahead and take this off. That looks good. Put that to the side. All right. Let's remove your ball bearing framework. Looks good. Bushings look good so far. Have to look at them under high magnification here, these two. This is not the 21 or 25 jewel. This is the 17, which is the same jewel count as the 6105, so it's got the bushings in the third and the fourth wheels. Looks pretty good. You haven't lost a lot of S2. A little floppy there in the barrel. I think with any of these, any amount of wear is going to be in that spot. Hold on. Okay. There's your click. Alrighty. Looks good. Lost some lubrication out of your barrel. We're going to take a close look at all those jewels. Looks good. Alright, let's go ahead and get the rest of your train out. There's your barrel. Fourth wheel. There's your third wheel. Your escape wheel. Hacking lever. Okay, so now we've got your center wheel, cock that needs to come out. Looks good. It's in good shape. Okay. Now you can see you've lost some of your S2 here, which is what actually ends up to be a bit of a cutting material for this lower mainspring arbor port, and so that leads to issues. Okay. So now we can continue our process. Okay. Come back. Come back. Right. Let's go ahead and take your here's your day wheel. We'll go over here. Day disc, I should say. Okay. Now we can start on this side. Okay. Get all the parts, nice metal everywhere. That's good to see. Early movement. There's all metal components except for one, which is a finger for your day wheel. Okay. It's much like the 6139s in their assembly, with the quick date lever. Oops, come on. These screws are just slipping on me today. That's in there correctly. It's nice. Not sure this watch has seen a service. Okay. There's your center wheel. Let's take out your die shock. Alright, there's yelling in my house. There's your very simple but very effective keyless works. No crazy springs to go sproing, just a few very simple components do their job well. That's it. Okay, so we're going to clean up all these jewels here, and we're going to put a new jewel in here. And once we're done with that, we'll come back and start the reassembly process. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, Elizabeth. Well, we are ready to get going. Everything's out of the cleaner and looking pretty good. I run all my initial checks on all your components. Looks great. I don't think this watch had very many hours on it before it was sort of put away. Just to show you what you're getting, you're seeing here a lower mainspring arbor port jewel. It was designed by myself and my colleague Spencer, and we are currently installing these new American-made components. There's the upper mainspring arbor port jewel. So those are nice. Nice to have. Keep your watch running the way it should. So let's go ahead and start with the reassembly process. Always start with a little bit of lubrication here on your couple components. So your center wheel and your barrel arbors. Put your center wheel cock in place. I always do a dry test run on everybody. Make sure clearances and shakes and everything are the way they're supposed to be prior to any full assembly, of course. Let's get your hacking lever nicely cleaned, ready to go. Your escape wheel. And your third wheel. There we go. And your fourth wheel, which gets a slight touch of lubrication on its shaft right here. And there we have it. All right. Get everybody lined up. Come on. Sometimes they just want to rock back and forth. Come on. Find your home. Oop. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Very nice. Okay, let's get some screws started. Very good. Free running of the train. It's nice to see. Make sure your hacking lever is back. Okay. Excellent. Go ahead and get your click spring installed. And your ratchet wheel. So I was able to use your mainspring. It was actually in really good shape. Again, I don't think this watch had a lot of time on the wrist. I mean, the crystal was a bit worn, but the movement itself presented extremely nicely. Anyway, it's back together now. Now we can add some lubrication. So okay, that's this side. So now we're going to flip, put on your cannon pinion. So have to lubricate here. Your cannon pinion is an interesting slip joint in a sense. Wants to. There we go. And a little bit of lubrication on this side. So your third wheel and escape wheel. And with that, we are ready for the next step, which is check the running of the train. That looks really good. It's nice and quiet. Everything looks nice and clean. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, so next up is your pallet fork. Part of your lever escapement. That goes in place. Check to make sure there's nothing on the jewel for this balance. I mean for this bridge. You can really set your amplitude quite low if you've got errant lubrication. Okay. Now, let's check to see how this does. Yes, that's what we want. We'll go ahead and drop these 2 screws. Good. Okay. See if this snaps back. Good. Okay. Now we can drop your balance in place and hope for some good running. We've done our job well. It should run perfectly. Looks good, looks vigorous. Okay. All right, let's go to the time grapher and see how we're doing. Right back. Okay, well, we're starting off pretty good, so let's get things adjusted. Let's get your beat error out, and then we can work on the rate. So we've got about a millisecond of beat error, which means we have to take a guess, in a sense. I'm going to guess that way. Oh, that was a good guess. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, went a little bit too far. Let's come back a touch. There we go. All right. So, okay. So now we need to bring the rate down a little bit. That shouldn't be too bad. Let's see how we do. Okay, this is going to evolve a little bit as the lubrication makes its way around, but for the most part, that's pretty good. Amplitude's coming up, which is nice. It'll probably oscillate a little bit. See how close we can get this to 0, 0 for rate and beat error, but you know, this is the sign of a nice hairspring, nice balance, everything's nice and flat. So let's see if we can do just a bit more adjusting. I mean, that's about as much as I want to adjust. Okay, so looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Nice steady signal. Oh, that's nice. 220s. Okay, well, we're going to watch this for a moment and see if it breaks in well, which I'm hoping it will. It looks pretty good. Let's get that signal right in the middle. There we go. Okay. Not too shabby. You got a good runner here, Elizabeth. This is a good one. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Will it go to 230 before we get bored of watching this little line go across the screen? I don't know. We're heading that way. Oh, look at that. Will we get over the line? Nope. 230 is an interesting number for these movements. It seems to be the sort of go no-go point for realizing that it's well serviced. I always kind of use it as a threshold for where I start to move on to other things. But you know, it's just a number. we shall see. It may jump back up again. It's looking good. Alright, so I think we just need to let this sit and break in. It will continue to oscillate as the amplitude will oscillate around a little bit as the lubrication moves its way through, and what you're really looking for is that the mean of the oscillation is increasing steadily to a nice number. But so far, I'm pretty happy. This looks good. I think we've done well for ourselves. Yeah, okay. Come on, back over 220. Let's at least get to 220 before we stop. We were so close. Come on. Well. All right, we're going to let this break in. We'll let it rest, and we'll come back and check progress. All right, we'll be back. Okay, Elizabeth. Well, we're in the mid-230s, and I think we're doing pretty well. So I think it's time to move on and get to the other side of the watch. So we're going to move on. All right, looking good. Okay, Elizabeth. Well, we are here on the other side, and I've got a few components. The keyless works put together, some other pieces that are important for just ensuring that everything is as it should be. And now we're going to just finish up the calendar works. Make sure that's working like it should. Keeping track of the days and the date. Okay. Your lovely metal gear in there. And your quick date day change lever. Goes in place. Itself there. Okay, so now we put your plate on. Last one. Okay. Get your day disc. And there it is. C-clip. I love the color of these day discs, the matching sort of brown and brown. It looks so cool. Okay, now we should be able to push in for quick change, and we're not going to be able to go through that because I haven't tightened down this crown. This is not the crown that's going to stay. Well, not the stem that's going to stay here. So, okay. There we go. That's it. We should be able to make it hack, which it does. That's good. Okay. Next stop is dial in hands, and then we can recase the watch. All right, we'll be back. Okay, Elizabeth. Well, we are here right at the end. got a little bit of extra work left to do, simply centered around your stem and crown. We'll get to that in a moment. But let's go ahead and get your winding framework buckled down here with some screws. This is just such a great running watch. I'm really, really happy with the way the movement turned out, for sure. It's very, very clean and super nice. Okay, time for your winding weight to go back on, nice and shiny, ready to go. Okay. Let's go. Whoops. Come on, case back. Got your new case back seal that you sent. All lubricated and ready to go. And look at that. There it is. In all its UFO glory. Let's see if we can see this a little better. Well, the watch itself is fantastic. I mean, what a great little example this is. What a fun find. Yeah, somebody had been trying to get into here at some point with something a little sharp. But otherwise, the case is in really good shape. It's all original in terms of its lines and its brushing. Case back is nice and shiny. Got it nice and clean. These marks on your dial, those are actually a patination that happens to these yellow or gold dial Seikos, where that's actually material that's it's almost as though the clear coat on top has, in a sense, given away to some no, it's not necessarily corrosion. It's just a change in the metal that then pops through in a few spots on the dial. It happens on the 6139 Pogues, the 6005 variants. It happens a lot on there. Wherever that clear coat is a little thin, you get this pop through. But you know what? It is what it is. I mean, it's such a cool looking dial. The thing I'm sort of waiting on, and we'll communicate via email, I think, to get this straightened out, is basically that you needed a crown, so we'll get the crown figured out. Or I'm sorry, you needed a stem. The best fit crown that you sent, the tap size on this, on the crown that you sent, is actually too large for the proper stem for this watch. So I have a crown that I have in stock on here now. This is a stem that I have your gear and your and my spring. I haven't cut the stem yet to be of the right length. I was waiting for us to see if we could source one with you. But if you are going to, we need to also talk about the type of stem, because it has to be of a certain tap to fit the Seiko crown. Sorry about that. Anyway, otherwise, the watch is great. It's came out really nice. Just so happy with the way everything works. We can go through it, hacks, which is nice to see. We can get the day and date to change over. I have to go around one more time. And there we go. Perfect. All right. Hand alignment came out really nice. These hacking watches are nice because you can really dial them in perfectly. There it goes. Okay, well, Elizabeth, it's been really fun. This is such a great opportunity to help you out with your watch. I look forward to getting everything sort of buttoned up and finished and getting this back to you. And we'll be back when we get everything sort of finalized. But this is where we are. This is the watch. All right, thanks so much. Okay, Elizabeth. Well, we are here at the end of the end. Just wanted to show you the watch with your new crown. And everything is working just as it should. You got your internal gear rotating your bezel here. So we are all set on this lovely watch. Couple little things coming back inside your container here. There's your old stem. You've got your bushing that we've replaced with a jewel. Here's your old case back seal. Everything else that you sent, we've installed and should be ready to go. So thanks again, and I really appreciate you thinking of me, and I think we got a great little watch. All right, well, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be in touch. Thanks.